tables over there. Grab a booklet if you didn't get one. The coffee and treats are in the back. If you got to go to the restroom, use the back door to go out. Restrooms right around the corner for ladies. On the other side of the elevator for men. Welcome to the show.
288. Wait a minute.
Welcome to the show. We got a lot of content to rip through, so we'll start with this assessment. We got Brent Gove coming at noon for a quick
assessment.
It's assessment.
Pretty
It's not a
low.
test.
Yeah.
I'll soften it. It's not a test because, well, we'll call it an assessment.
Yeah, because otherwise everyone would test. I like
But as you guys are burning through these questions, and before we do the formal intro here to start, I want you guys to think of what the theme of these questions have to do with your business. There's a definite common denominator amongst all of these questions.
What is a channel account?
A channel account is someone that's going to give you a company or corporation.
That's where you're at today.
A company or corporation or person that's going to give you 3 to 5 deals a year. That's who you are, I suppose.
the world.
Your happy hours shouldn't be with yourself.
Oh, then never mind. I've just changed that.
I need an eraser.
1,000 video emails per month.
So as you guys are going through this, today's class, this content, many of you guys have probably been through the business planning clinic for KW. This is completely new content. Completely introduced. We're going to touch on some of the topics from the MREA because we do have some newer agents that are here or are anticipated to show up. So we are going to spend literally less than 5 minutes on MREA stuff just so that we understand the different models in real estate. But everything that we're going to talk about today is about relationships. Building relationships in 2021. And here's why. How did what we talk about is 86% of business comes from referral. That's a NAR statistic. So the rest of us are all out there fighting for the remaining 14%. How did 2020 end up based on what your goals were for 2020 with COVID?
So much better.
Yeah.
Right? So much better.
Probably find a new
And then
job.
for those of you who don't know what the MRE is,
I guess I gotta find a new job, so I'm
it's the
like,
Millionaire Real Estate Agent. That's what the book is. It's the red book.
Yeah, it's right here.
I should
That
probably
was
also
very
find
nice
a
way
good
to
job.
put it there.
I got 4.
So if you haven't read this, I would grab it and I would get the leadership edition. They actually have it like spiral bound and they have it tabbed into different sections. So based on like prospecting, lead generation, organizational model, all those things are broken down so you don't have to memorize the pages. But a great book to read, and maybe even get it on Audible and listen to it when you're in the car.
Yep. Awesome. So we're going to take a couple more of these assessments throughout the day, but this should be a bit of self-awareness that we've got to spend more time growing our database, meeting with referral partners, getting out there and getting in front of people, less reliant on, online leads and business that happens by accident, if you will, right? So, how did you guys score?
I got a 4.
Absolute crap. Pretty poor.
I got 9s.
I got a 5.
Huh? Becoming your janitor. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's funny.
a new job.
So we're gonna swing back around. We're gonna swing back around to this at the end of the day and put some systems, some plans, some organization in motion, so that next year, when you're filling this test out, you've got some better numbers. This is like a 5-year plan. This is like, what would my business look like in 5 years if you were doing those things every day? If you're and face-to-faces now can be exchanged for what? Zoom. Yeah. Right. So
But I would say on that too, for your 5-year plan, you're going to pick, the top, let's pick our top 10 things that maybe if you don't have 10, right, pick the top 10s you need to implement, and then break it down by which one you think will be the most influential in your business, and then each year implement 1 or 2 of them. Don't try and implement all 10; it's not going to happen, right?
That's right.
It's too much. So you're going to pick 1 or 2 things each year, and then you're going to schedule it out for the next 5 years, and then you should be scoring a lot higher on this assessment, right? And your income should drastically change if that's important to you, right? So.
that's right. Just if you could add 5 points a year, like to this test, what's that going to look like in 5 years? You'll have a great business. Okay. Okay. So let's turn to this page. For those of you, hopefully you guys are done filling that out.
What number is it?
It's it's after the calendars.
Okay.
And Derek just did a nice job of sharing with you the MRA book. Most of you have probably read it. If you're not, it's a great read. Models are changing.
Yeah.
Models are changing, but for those of you who remember, some of us have been out of KW for a long period of time. Some of us might have never been there or read the MREA, but we talk about the 4 business models. Now, this isn't just for real estate. And what I'm going to share with you today is I want you to go out in 2021 and build many relationships with different people in the financial world. We always talk about CPAs, attorneys, financial planners, builders, all those people. It's the same conversation with them, right? How are they making money? Where are their leads coming from? Who's doing what as far as organization is concerned, and how much ultimate money are they making? How much are they bringing home? If you understand these models, you can have this conversation with them. Some of you might be saying, well, as we're talking about referral partners, why would they want to do business with me? Get out of the mindset, if you will, of I have to exchange a client to them for them to exchange a client back, and get into the thought process of what value can you bring to them or their business. If you can help them to make their next hire, to make an introduction, to get their database set up a Facebook page, to get a new headshot, to, marketing pieces, and we put some marketing pieces up here, and I'm going to go over them in a little bit, but I want you guys on the break to come up and take a look at some of these pieces and see what you can potentially implement in your business for 2021. Anyway, study these different models, and as you go through, I'm not going to touch on really each one, but as you go through, we talk about this, which is the key of prospect and marketing. And we talk about your database is comprised of 2 different types of people, the haven't mets and the mets. The haven't mets is a target group of an audience, if you will, target group of audience that doesn't know you. So what we want you to do is be able to maximize your reach to those people you don't know. And here's one way that you can do it that we're doing right now. How many of you guys are familiar with Cole Realty Source? A couple of you. Okay, Cole Realty can give you what?
Phone numbers, addresses, emails,
Phone numbers, addresses, and emails. Okay?
and their names.
So our goal for 2021 is to have a electronic farm email for each zip code in the 4 closest counties. We've got the system with KV Core to be able to do it. We can download from Cole Realty. Now, instead of farming via postcards, we're able to electronically farm and then track through the system who is, who's looking, who's
engaging.
viewing property, who's engaging, thank you, who's looking at those market reports. So that would be a way that you could target. Also, how else could we target people we don't know? What are some other ways?
Networking,
Okay.
asking for a referral. So a lot of folks will go on, say LinkedIn, right? And you'll say that you have a mutual connection with somebody you're trying to get into business with. And so you'll reach out to them and say, hey, I know you know Susie over at XYZ company. How well do you know her? Did you have any clout with her? Yeah, great. Well, I'd love to take you guys both to lunch. Would you be able to set that up for us? Now you have a new meeting, right? That's one way to do it, right? It's just leveraging your people you already have, your already mets to introduce you to the people you haven't met yet.
Yeah, and there's a form in here that actually, when you sit down with your clients, they will ask you, who are you using for your CPA? Who is currently your business banker? All the questions that you really should be at. Who are your coworkers? Where you work? Can I send you lunch, right? It's about your expansion into the marketplace through people that you don't know. So when we go back here, we could also target demographics. We could target first-time home buyers. We could target move-up buyers. We could target seniors.
Different area, different city, maybe in the Bay Area, because a lot of people in the Bay Area, 60% of the people that bought a home in October moved here from the Bay Area, in the Tri-County area, right? So maybe you should target that area, right? And then knowing that, talk to your escrow and title reps, talk to them, they'll tell you what demographics are moving here, where they're moving, what geography, who's moving here, right?
Agent-to-agent referral is the biggest failure in our community for marketing. Chrissy, how many people do we have in our database that we market to agent-to-agent? 10,000. So 2 times a month, 10,000 agents from the Bay Area get emails from us. That's a significant amount of business that comes back into us. At least 1 or 2 deals a month that we're getting from agent-to-agent referrals, specifically now. So the goal here is to expose you guys to some new thoughts and ideas, share with you then operationally how to implement those, and then firing it up for for 2021. So,
Can I touch on
Yeah,
the haven't
go ahead,
met?
please.
Okay, so for
Please.
haven't met, you haven't earned the right to put them on like a 33 or a 36 touch because they're not part of your sphere of influence yet. So those people you haven't, that someone that would be haven't met would be someone you may have met them yet, but that they don't know that you're in real estate, right? They're not going to refer you real estate. So those are people, or people you haven't met yet, correct? Completely haven't met yet. So they're going to go on what's called a 12 direct, so that you get something from you monthly. So you should write that down maybe on there for haven't met. And then once you meet somebody, right, you're going to put them on what's called an 8x8. So let's say I met you today, and I was door knocking, I met you at your house, and I'm going to put you, so the next 8 weeks you're going to get something from me. That's going to be through the mail, I'm going to get your phone number, your email, I'm going to get all that stuff, right, so I can hit you in different categories, right? So 8 in 8 weeks. Once that happens, if you feel that you built enough trust with them, then you put them on the 33 touch, which is now called a 36 touch. So they get 36 touches from you throughout the year. So it's going to be 12 emails, 12 direct mail, which is going to be 24 of them right there, right? Then you have a quarterly phone call. You can break in some, maybe a quarterly event. You could do some kind of a holiday pop by. That's how you incorporate those in there. And you make it how you want your business to look. You may not want to do things via mail, direct mail. You might want to do it just via email, right? And then phone calls and in person. It depends on how you want to do that, but 36 touches, and that's how you're going to leverage that business.
exactly.
And so for every 50 people you have on a 12 direct, you should have one piece of business coming from that. And for every, what's the 33 touch? I can't remember. I think it's like
We've
for
got,
every,
we've
it's
got
in
it
there.
in, for haven't met,
I think it's 50 to 1, right?
16,000 people after 2 years can net up to 320 sales, haven't met, which is pretty incredible.
It's a big number.
It's a big number. It's a big number.
So yeah.
It's a big number. So how many of you guys are numbers people? You're looking at your numbers every week, every month. Okay, you're the anomaly because most agents don't. And so they see a chart like this, which is your key 3 focus areas. These are about conversion, how many deals you need to do based on 65% of listings actually only convey, they sell, the other 35 don't. When we're talking about breaking down numbers, I want you guys to think of 4 main numbers. We used to call it the 4 conversations all the time, which is, anybody know what the initial number is? How many appointments are you going on with buyers or sellers each week? Okay? When we're doing your calendar, what I want you to think of is there's going to be weeks that you don't have appointments with buyers or sellers, right? That doesn't give you the availability or the authority to let yourself down in your business and not take an appointment with somebody. So if I know every day I got to meet with 2 people as per that test that we just took, or however many people you decide you're going to meet with, if you're not meeting with buyers or sellers, who are you going to meet with next? Referral partners. Who are you going to meet with if you can't meet with a new referral partner and introduce yourself? You're going to meet with somebody from your database. You're going to call your database, and you're going to call your past client and go, hey, Charlie, let's go have lunch today. So it's you understand it's the habit of keeping your calendar full. Real estate is not really about selling real estate. It's about following a system. Those people that inevitably follow a system that that focuses on building relationships are the rock stars in real estate. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you can't focus on your weekly numbers and your conversion ratios, and you're not diving into these numbers and geeking out a bit, just focus on the appointments, the closings, or the contracts, the closings, and then the money. Those 4 conversations on a weekly basis. So if we were coaching together, I'd say, okay, guys, right now, how many listing appointments did you have this week? It's what, Thursday? How many listing appointments? Is that enough? Right? How many buyer's appointments did you meet? Okay, is that enough? Would you, if you were the CEO of your own company, would you then hire yourself back if you knew that over the past 2 weeks I didn't have a listing appointment? It means the activities there, or lack of activities, aren't driving revenue, right? Okay, so anyway, anything you want to add to that, Derek?
No, that's perfect. And then you're going to have your goals, which is your actuals, right? So you have the goal, because today we're going to figure out what your goal is for that each week.
That's right.
And then you're going to have your actuals, and that's where like, halfway through the month, you should implement something that's going to make sure you hit those numbers. Where are you at halfway through the month? How am I going to get there to make my month? Because if you start falling behind early, right, it's going to be harder to catch up. You're going to feel like you're in quicksand, right?
Right.
And that's probably not the best feeling in your business.
Right. Exactly. So this next page is called the Cost of a Millionaire Lead Generation Program. We all want to make $1 million in real estate, most of us, right? I mean, that's kind of the goal, is to be independently wealthy through real estate activities. Here's where we lose as an industry. Over 90% of agents don't have databases.
Really?
Really. If you ask the people from KV Core, who is our internal EXP, database CRM, how many are actually using it? They will say less than 10%. Less than 10%. Well, think about this. How many of you guys logged into your KV Core this week? Okay. Smaller percentage, 4 of 10, something like that. Okay. So your database is your biggest source of referral business. Think about that again. Your database is your biggest source of referral business. So you've got to be in it every day. It's the best tool that you have. But it's not just a database. It's got to transition into a CRM. What would be the difference?
CRM is being utilized, it's tracking.
Yeah, the CRM will do it automatically.
Correct. It's automated, it's tasking you, it's sending alert, it's sending market updates, it's working for you when you're not working, and hitting your database, your sphere of influence. We say, how influential are you over your sphere, in coordination with your Facebook, right? Because your Facebook is a database. Your LinkedIn is a database. Your KV Core, whatever, Boomtown is a database. Your MailChimp is a database. Your, whatever other Altos Research for us that use that system, that's a database. So collaboratively, we have several different databases working at all time and in coordination with each other. Each one plays a different role. Derek was saying, okay, I have a 33 touch, and then I have an 8x8. Really, the 8x8 is meant for, and I'm going to go back and explain what the 8x8 is meant for, but it's really meant for the appointment. Right? So I put somebody, if I don't know you, I put you on a 33 touch, you're getting birthday things and market updates and this and that and the other, a couple times a month, and then you're getting 8 direct things from me, phone call, email, voicemail recording, whatever, to say, okay, Julie, I want to meet with you. Like, let's get the show on the road. You know who I am. I've established credibility. What we need to use our social media for more is creating credibility with our sphere of influence. What's happening in the market? What are interest rates doing? What can you offer to better that client's life, that client's experience, to solidify your evidence of success in the marketplace? Many of you are just trying to break into this industry. That is your KCRA. You've heard me say this in our team meetings before. That's your KCRA 3. You now are the reporter, Andre. You've got access to 3,000 people in your database. What story are you telling them about the market? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it indifferent? Are you sharing market opportunities with them? That all has to be done in coordination. And truly, that's how you get to these numbers. Okay? Database, main and CRM.
So I would say on this, so I did the math. So it's 50 to 1 is your haven't met. So for every 50 people in there that you have on your campaign, you should have one piece of business coming from them a year, right? For every 50. And for the Mets, it's actually, I remember now, it's a 12 to 2 ratio, which breaks down to 6 to 1. But the reason why it's a 12 to 2 is because for every 12 people, you should have one piece of referral business and one piece of someone that's actually in that database already. So they're either going to refer you to somebody out for one, right? And then someone in there is going to close with you per year. Does that make sense? And so if you think about it this way, we'll look at, you need 1,920 people to make $1 million in selling real estate, $1 million selling real estate. So kind of, if I was you guys sitting in your seat, how many people in your database, write that number down now, right? And then how do I add that? How am I going to get more people in that database at the number that I want? And it may not be that you want to net $1 million. It might be 500,000. So divide it by 2. Whatever that number is, right? That's where you're going to focus on getting there. But if we don't continue to do the haven't met, so prospecting for new clients, right, and new people, we're never going to have the sphere of influence, the Mets that we need, right? Because people are going to pass away. People are going to move away, right? Your database, that's your current business, right? Future business and things that you're going to add into, that's what you want to focus on with your haven't mets. That's why we harp on, open houses, door knocking, all those things that we could do pre-COVID. Now it's a little different how you do it, right? But think about that. You got to feed that in order to make the money you want to make, right? And I don't know about you, but I'd rather work in a 6 to 1 ratio than a 50 to 1, right? It's probably a little more time consuming to get 50 to 1. But if you're just starting, right, that's where you start and that's how you build your business. That's why the longer you're in the business, if you're maintaining that database like Sean was chatting about, you're going to have a lot more income coming in, a lot more campaigns, a lot more touches. There's just going to have a lot more environment going on that. So you're maintaining that business and then adding to it each day.
Exactly. A couple of other things in regards to that. You should be farming business people. Don't think about farming houses. If you want to get in front of a gatekeeper in Granite Bay, there's 30 CPAs, let's just say, and each of them have 200 to 500 clients. Why not farm the CPA? You get better bang for your buck. Why not farm the divorce attorneys? Why not farm the financial planners? Okay? Don't just think about it as houses. You're fishing upstream in those, but those should be part of your overall database campaign. So if you look at our KV Core, our database campaign, we've got referral partner emails that are going out. We've got sphere of influence emails that are going out as a farm. We've got agent-to-agent emails that are going out as a farm. All of those are different sources of business that we're going to talk about later, but that's the goal here, is to bring all these people into your world, okay?
This will
All
come first. When we go into accountability, we'll talk about having business-to-business partners that hold you accountable as well. So
Yep.
we'll touch on that later, but that'll be a piece for, get back to the assessment that we did, breaking bread, right?
Breaking
Business to
bread.
business. Those are things that it's all going to tie back together as we go through today, and you're going to have a plan to do it. So.
That's right. So here's the budget model. I'm not going to go dive into this deep, but when Gary went around and he queried all the millionaire agents, they came back with a system and said, okay, on average, these are the percentages that we're spending on each associated cost of doing business between the hires and the space and the overhead. So in planning purposes, you can use these percentages as a good litmus for what you're going to spend.
Yeah, the thought process in the book is first you got to think like you're going to net $1 million, and you got to gross $1 million selling real estate, then you net $1 million, right? So if you're putting any kind of system in place, why would you want to make a system you have to continue to change, because it's not big enough for what you want to do in your life? And again, that's based on your numbers. But think about the budget, utilize this, right, as part of your business, and you just have to adjust the numbers based on the numbers that you want to achieve this year.
That's
So
right.
it's think, grow, then net.
That's right. Chrissy, would you do me a favor? Can you grab the postage note charts? I'm going to draw something.
Sounds
I'm
like
stoking out.
rhymes
Stoking out, everybody.
with- Can I buy a vowel?
All right, next page is the accounts pyramid. This is a blank one, but this is what, and you guys should fill out. I want you to fill out a couple of these right now as we're going through this, but I wish somebody would have shared this with me when I first got into real estate. And basically what it says is, I'm building a pyramid of business over a certain extended period of time where I'm no longer reliant on having to spend a large amount of money on marketing. And I've built relationships with corporations, with business people, with my sphere, and with outside marketing, outside marketing dollars, which is the bottom, the prospects, to solidify my business. And I'm going to write something on here. But if we thought of a channel account, any of you guys currently doing business with corporations? Meaning you're their go-to person. Referrals, like a relo company.
Relocation account.
Relocation, builder. Yeah, go ahead.
I am. So my brokerage, we have a building division, so I get deals from that.
Perfect.
And then honestly, business to business shifted my business this year big time. Like I built a relationship with a estates planning attorney that I've done about 3 deals with this year. I joined a BNI group that I've gotten 5 deals from this year.
Perfect.
Honestly, once I
Awesome.
shifted my mindset to just target people that can send you referrals without having to spend money with them or go after them, it's huge.
It is huge.
I mean, 10 deals a year, that's huge. At least for my business.
Right. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that would be one of your accounts, right? Your builder account. And if you don't have any, then think about who you would like to do business with. And I say where you start with these companies is what are you passionate about? If you like sports, go meet a couple sports agents. Zoom, make some cold call. I mean, you guys got to put the effort to cold call, and get the relationship and build the relationship and send the note cards and friend them on Facebook and give them the dopamine of every like that they post. But eventually, you'll get an appointment with them, and they can set your world free. If you transacted with if you built 10 more business relationships this year, and each of them gave you 3 pieces of business, that's 30 more deals.
Huge, yeah.
It's huge. It is huge. Okay, so think about what corporations or companies that you could do business with. I would share with you, they should be with employees of over, if you're doing a corporation, should be employees over 150 people. Because you want to have access to those, right? If I was farming an area, what would be the way that I would farm it? Most of the time I would go, what is the turnover ratio? right? I'm not going to farm a neighborhood that has one house that sells every 2 years. I'm going to go somewhere that has a lot of turnover. Same thing with a business. I'm not going to farm or try and get not waste, but invest a lot of time and effort into a company that only has 10 employees because I know annually that's only going to amount for maybe half a sale. I want somebody somewhere with a lot of volume, right?
And then to piggyback off that, something that's hyper local, right? That they're focused maybe in a specific town that I'm focusing on. That's where all their employees work, and they all live very close to that. That way, we're not driving to the Bay Area back and forth, right? We're able to be strategic with where we're
Correct.
targeting, right? And the average, and also the type of company, you might know their average income at that company, right? Which equates to how much they can afford on a house. Why would I want to go sell a $300,000 house when I could sell a $750,000 house, right? Or whatever that number is. So diving deep into those thoughts, right, will help affect your business in terms of your net income every year.
Definitely. You want to invest, just like a stock, right? You want to invest in something that's going to blow up, not a cul-de-sac investment. So what businesses are growing, what areas are expanding, where a new house is being built. Those are the companies that you want to target. Then you could do some cool things like Facebook posts saying, hey, we support Delta Airlines employees. We're offering a discount for Delta Airline employees. They don't know you're not affiliated with the company. But people will say, Sean, why the hell would an HR company, why the hell would Hewlett Packard want to do business with me? So I'll ask you that question. Why would Hewlett Packard want HP? Why would the hospital want to do business with you? What can you provide to them that they already don't have? Great question, Sean. Okay, I'll answer. When you pose that question to the people who are internally into their reload programs, they tell you that they're the worst agents ever. Does that make sense? The reload companies that the HR companies have hired internally, those corporations, are terrible. Most of the time they're discount brokers. They're doing it for like 1.5%. But really, the answer should always be when I'm asking you these questions, I don't know. What do they need? What do they need? What does
Reverse
HP
engineering it, right? What do they need?
What does HP need from me as a real estate agent? If I go in and I talk to the HR person and I say, listen, would it help if you've got recruits coming from Boston or Florida? I don't know where they're coming from. And I say, let me spend 4 hours with them on Saturday, and I'll take them around and I'll show them the hospital, I'll
Give them
show them their
tours.
schools, I'll show them some different neighborhoods, and we'll actually walk through a couple of different houses. Guess what I'm going to find out during that time frame? What's important to that candidate. If I know what's important to that candidate, I can come back and tell the HR person, hey, Angie, here's what they want. They need an extra 10 grand. They need 5 grand for a sign-on bonus. And boom, we'll get them here. Angie, by the way, what do you need? What's next for you in your path to success at HP? How can I help you get to that? Well, I need an extra 5 recruits. Then that'll give me another earning bonus. Okay, well, let's work on that. You've got to go in and ask those needs analysis questions. Same thing with the business people, right? I just said, how many people don't have a database in real estate? 90%. Guess what? How many times did your CPA email you last year? Your insurance guy? Your financial planner? Most of the time it's very little. They also don't have a database. So one of the things that you can go in there and share with them is, let me get you hooked up with the database. Let me systematically work on that. We'll do a data dump. We'll set you up on 12 things that go out to your database every month. We'll get you a Facebook page set up. You've got to find the value because people refer business for you for three different reasons. Number one, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Jeremy gives me a client, I exchange a client back to him. Number two, I give him business because I know the customer service is going to be great. It's a good look for me to my client, and I know that they're going to be taken care of, and I'm not going to be taking bullshit calls going, oh man, this really sucks, this experience is terrible, okay? And the third thing is because you're bringing outside value to them. That's probably the least utilized, but most needed, least utilized but most needed a way to exchange business. So you got to find out what you can bring to them by asking those questions.
Well, one way you
Any
could have done
questions
that
on-
would have been to invite a guest to come to the class today, right? And help them, because everyone, it's a business plan. It doesn't say it's real estate, right? It's business in general, right? It could be an allied resource you have here with you. It could be another agent, right?
That's right.
From a different company.
A lot of times, no matter how many times you do these things, you pick up a different nugget depending on where you are in your business.
Dude, and you'll hear me saying like all these things, kind of the same things every once in a while. It's because I've been out there and I continue to be out there listening, and I've heard the same thing 5 or 6 times, but the one time it goes, okay, I get it now, right? And that light bulb goes off, so thanks for sharing that.
Like a parrot, right? You listen to what everyone else is doing, and that's how you implement it, right? And you
That's
start
right.
speaking it into reality.
That's right. So,
Can I back up and ask you a
Yes,
quick question? Because
please
I'm
do.
really interested in implementing this more,
Yeah.
the business to business. You said businesses with over 150 employees, but employees or customers? Because sometimes,
Employees.
I'm looking at that they often have the touches. That's where I'm getting some referrals now is they refer me to their customers.
hand this around. Employees, we're something like a corporate care program where you go in and you say, okay, hey, we're gonna set up a you can get a WordPress website for almost nothing. You set up a website for their employees, what your benefits are, what you're gonna offer to them, and this is what you kind of lead with as you would a listing presentation, but ultimately it's not this. This is what maybe gets you the appointment. It's your ability to find their need.
And then for those of you with EXP, you can do that on a custom page on your KV Core platform,
Thanks,
your website.
yeah, thanks.
So you can utilize that, so you don't have.
I'm sorry, but it's
So
like
you can utilize your KV Core platform and build a custom page for them, right? And you can have drop downs, all that good stuff for that. And then if you want to get crazy, you can have someone customize and you can blend them together. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say so. That's like the corporate side, right? And then there's other business to business that you're thinking of, and that would be people that are going to have those relationships. For instance, like a lender, right? They probably don't have 150 people working for them. That company might, yet, right? The mortgage company, yet that would be kind of a different business to business.
That
thought
would
process
be an
there.
account.
Yeah, that'd be a little different.
That would be an account. So see the pyramid, we're gonna talk big accounts, relo, HR companies, corporations, corporate care. The reason why we want employees because we want access to that gatekeeper. Imagine that HR person, now we can give them relo packets and buyer's consultation packets and have a little, hey, every time somebody comes from Boston, they're gonna get this packet about the area. Let me put them on market updates so that they can see what's happening in the market beforehand. All those things that you can do to help that HR company either bring in employees or maintain employees. They love it when their employees buy a house. Why?
Well,
They're
leave
locked
them.
in the neighborhood. They're locked in the community. Okay? So when we're going, that's what we're selling. The more people I can get locked up here in the community, the more retention you're going to have.
Well,
Okay,
you're
that's
not-
typically what they want.
You're not marketing to 150 employees. All you gotta do is get in with the HR
That's right.
person, and then you got the in.
That's
So it's
fishing
like,
upstream.
Yeah, you gotta think about it. Yeah.
Right? That's fishing upstream instead of trying to catch the. So just take some time here and quickly fill out, what are your passions? What do you like to do business with? Who knows you? Who are the whales that you could do business? I mean, if you could get Elon Musk, if you could get an appointment with Elon Musk, that'd be pretty cool, right? But would that change the scope of your business? I'm telling you guys, if you embrace this and you go after it full force in 2021, it will change the dynamic of your business. You'll have people calling you to give you business instead of having to make those outbound calls. Then real estate becomes fun. It's not the grind of, oh my God, where's my next deal going to come from? Who am I going to have to cold call? It's people who love you, who you take great care of, who want to see you succeed, and in turn you want to see them succeed. So,
And today I was gonna say, I want you guys to think super, super big, right? People grossly overestimate what they're gonna accomplish in 1 year, but we're talking 3 to 5 years, right? And people
Yeah.
grossly underestimate what they can accomplish in 3 to 5 years. So think about this. We're sitting here 5 years from now, and that's what I want you guys to think about, right? 5 years down the road, what would you like it to be like? And so for me, how I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fill out who I already have. I'm gonna highlight the ones I already have, and then I'm gonna put ideas of who I want next. Who I'm gonna target. Does that make sense? And so I'm gonna highlight the ones that I already have, and then the target list, and then we're gonna build a plan for that.
So channel accounts at the top are the ones that are the 150
Yeah.
plus employees.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or a relo account or an REO account for some people who have deals with banks. And then your accounts are your business to business people. So if you don't have specific names in here, write CPA, write attorney, write builder, write financial planner, write, restaurant owner. I
Yeah,
don't
and if
care.
you can't think of a type of person to add in there as you're getting to 25, just go through like the yellow pages in your mind What type of people start with an A? An accountant, right? What starts with a B, right? So just go through those, and that's how you can add who
How would
you're
you go
targeting.
about even finding a relo account?
Start with Google. I mean, you go Google relocation account right now. There's probably about 10 to 12 nationwide that are out there. That's
And then
where you start.
number two,
I did a Tom Ferry
Sorry.
one. If you Google Tom Ferry, hang on, I'll come back.
Yeah.
If you Google Tom Ferry, he just did a seven something. I don't know. We watched it. I don't remember what it's called, but anyway, 7 ways to get listings, and he's actually got like 30 different companies, referral-based companies that you can go and sign up with.
He's my favorite real estate coach to listen to.
So go,
He's-
go Google.
Spotify's.
Maybe,
Sean, is it?
Maybe
Tom Ferry.
Sean?
He's like a close.
I'm a close second.
Tom Ferry's good.
No, he's
good.
great, but he gives you that information. So I mean, literally, it's like 30 referral companies, and I don't know. We'll Google it at the break, but it's called Tom Ferry 7 listing methods or something like that.
Then I would say number 2, go through your database. You probably know someone that works at a big company.
Yeah.
And then you probably have someone that's in HR at a big company,
Great,
right?
great.
And if you don't have someone in HR, then you go talk to the people that are at the company you want to get in and say, hey, do you know anyone at HR? Like, you have any good relationships there?
Yeah,
Right? Can you connect me?
your clients want to help you succeed.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I've got big goals for 2021, Bob. Can we talk about you potentially helping me with my goals? Yeah. Don't you realize people want to help you. So maximize those. One of the other things we were talking about is, dude, for your closings, be sending lunch to their coworkers if they're in the office right now. If they're not, I get it. Send lunch. It's a great way for them just to go, oh, Shannon sent me, Chili's or Chevy's or whatever.
Sean
Jax.
does.
Huh? Sean does. So then your top 50, those are going to be like your top 25 or your top 50 clients, people in the sphere of influence that want to do business with you. Okay? And you'll
We only
find
charge $200
the goal with those
per
is to
call.
be calling your top 25 routinely every week and checking in with them. Tess, hey, what's going on? What'd you do over the weekend? How's the family? This is a love conversation. They love you, you love them. It's not a cold call.
That's my wife, dude.
Sorry, man.
Love calls. On.
Sean's calling again.
Sounds like a web series.
Sean's calling. Send him to
Dr.
voicemail.
Love. Dr. Love.
Send him to voicemail. Okay, and then the bottom of this is made up of your trust barrier. These are the haven't mets or the Mets that we talked about earlier who you're bringing into your business. These would be those different lead levers outside of the relationships that you have that are bringing people in. Open houses, agent-to-agent campaigns, geographic farms, maybe they're Zillow, paid leads. But you see what it says here, trust barrier. These are the people that you that are getting inside of your world, that trust you, that know you're influential in the real estate world and respect you. So if we focused over a 5-year time frame of really doing a great job of filling all of this part out, what do you realize about channel accounts, and top 50? They make up 75% of your business. Isn't it so weird that NAR says 86%, pretty damn close number, 11% hedged, is coming from referral business? The rest of the 25%, guys, has to come from everything else because it's not reliable. It's schizophrenic. It's the person that you ironically pick up at an open house or meet or call or meet at a networking event that that you foster over time, and 6-8 months later they raise their hand and say, okay, I'm ready. Or 4 years ago somebody referred you to them, and now they've been in your trust cycle forever, and now they're ready. Focus 75% on relationships in 2021.
And then the top left-hand corner, if you guys haven't noticed yet, there's a little key there. So if you forget which category is what, it's right there.
Next page. So we're going to talk glossary of terms. So let's get antiquated, if you will, good word. This content comes from the core coaching. Many of you may have heard of the core coaching, but the core are big lending coaches and real estate coaches. They only coach only the top 5% of realtors nationwide. You have to give them your tax returns and verify your income and your production to be associated with them. And they do biannually this summit for their coaching students. all of this content comes from the top 5% of real estate agents nationwide. Most of them are doing no less than 20 million in volume. It's not that, I mean, 20 million sounds like a lot for those who have been around. That's about what, $500,000 in gross commission incomes, okay? So all of these tactics and techniques come from them. We're gonna talk, first of all, about the glossary of terms so we can familiarize ourselves with some of the terms. So when we're talking CCR, current client referral, channel accounts, it's a referral partner that sends you at least one deal a month. I say more like 5 deals a year. EOS, evidence of success. That's a Facebook post. That's a congratulatory database post. That's a, birthday, or excuse me, not a birthday, but that's a anniversary of the sale. Hey, it's been 1 year since we closed. Evidence of success going out on social media, going out on LinkedIn. Hot lead, past client, PC, PCR, past client referral partner, sphere of influence. Your theme days, we're going to talk a lot about this, about theming out your prospecting days. VIP, whale list. My goal for you, circle whale, and then write the number 30 next to it. And that's because when you leave here today and you're going back and reviewing these notes, I want you to find 30 people who are whales in the local industry, business people, and see if you can get a meeting with them. 30 whales. That'd be like McCooney, Taro McCooney. His daughter is a real estate agent now, right? But people in that.
Yeah, she just capped yesterday. I saw it on Facebook.
Shocker.
Shocker, right?
Shocker. But anyway, those would be local business people that you have researched that you go, man, if I got in relationship with this person, it'd be awesome. What I'll share with you is that these people, these whales, respect other business people. And if you want to grow, most of them will respect the fact that you go, hey man, give me 15 minutes. Can I interview you for a Facebook interview?
Yeah.
Interview you for a Facebook interview. Can I ask you some questions about your business? Can you take 10 minutes and give me some mentorship? Okay? Flatter them to the point where they have to meet with you. Anyway, those are whales. ROI, return on investment, annualized return on investment. And then we've got, when we get to the money part, we're going to be talking about cost to acquire, cash net worth, equity net worth, and total net worth. And then we're going to talk a little about building a team. There's some terms in there for RP1s and RP2s. I'll share with you what my team structure looks like currently. And then we have some forms, the All About You form, closing call sheet. We already took the core test, and we're going to take a couple of others. The lead tracker is in the front of the binder. And I'll just take some time to go over this. I give you an extra copy of the pyramid. And the lead tracker looks like this. Evidence of contacts. So if you go into my office right now, I have a binder that has every month for the past 3 years of all my leads in there. Understand, and again, guys, this is just a system, right? Follow the system. You get a lead. This shares with you, you got to connect with them 7 times. Facebook, LinkedIn, text, message, drop by, pop by, email. So we're ensuring that we're getting a little bit of marketing up front with them.
You're solidifying the relationship, right?
Thank you. Yep. And then the final form there's 2 forms left. Some of the terms we just talked about. But this would be, if you were monitoring what a great week looked like, it's called the Greatness Tracker. And it says, how many face-to-face appointments, break bread, pop-bys, business calls, events, prospected hours, sent out thank you cards, and ultimately, what did that look like as far as leads coming in? And another form for that is this one. We call this the 5-5-1-1-1-1. It's an easy form that says, I got 5 new contacts this week. I made 5 today. I made 5 follow-ups, 1 social media post, 1 database addition, an appointment scheduled for next week, and then a thank you card sent out.
Can I ask a question on the social media post? Is that business related or
Yeah.
can that be personal? Okay, so
Business related. Again, going back and saying Andre is now the KCRA 3 newscaster for real estate, you have access now every day to post a video. We're going to talk a lot about your video plans next year because I don't think we're doing enough videos, in many different platforms and topics. But yeah, it's got to be a post that solidifies either your evidence of success, delivers something to the marketplace, some piece of knowledge to the marketplace, or ways that you're going to help out. Okay? But this, for many of you who are going, man, this looks like a lot. You can do all this if you're organized in less than an hour a day. Think about it. A thank you card, 5 minutes. Calling to get an appointment scheduled, it's up to you and your skill. One addition to KV Core database, a social media post, 5 follow-up calls with people who already know you.
Yeah. So we'll get to the calendar part too. We're gonna do your yearly calendar, but your weekly calendar, day by day, should have this stuff calendared out. Because if you look at it this way, your boss is your calendar, your job is to follow your calendar, and your family and friends depend on you to do your job, and yourself, right? You depend on you to do your job, right? So that's the thought process. So we'll break that down. So that should be in your calendar every single day, and then it should be something you're hitting on every single day.
Correct.
So we're using this every day, and then those new contacts are gonna turn around and be placed onto that lead tracker.
Correct.
Yep. And then they're also going to be part of the follow-ups probably too,
They're
right?
part of the follow-up, so they're kind of working on
Yeah.
both
all-
sections of your binder.
Coming full circle, I guess, right?
Yep. And a lot of people go, man, I don't want the old school binder, but I find it's just easier. You can write everything in there. You can carry it around with you. If you've got some downtime, you can pull it right out and just start dialing or calling or checking in on those leads. And it helps you not forget because I'll be honest with you, when it comes to being naturally organized, I'm not. And I'll take a lead and write it on a freaking Post-it note, and it'll end up on the floorboard of my car or something. So getting into the habit of doing this and putting it and doing the greatness tracker and doing those tasks and getting those in there. And then, we transfer them from the lead tracker into KV Core. So it's just, for me, it's like a mental system.
And I do stuff a little differently than him. So if you guys want like Excel or Google Drive, Google Sheets, just let me know. It's very similar. Yeah. Because otherwise I'm chaotic if I'm not. So.
So, yeah, because some of KV Core contacts count, right, on the evidence of contacts sheet,
Yeah.
with that lead tracker, so
Yeah.
we're hitting it through that, but.
Well, and it
check
depends what
marking
those
it on
sources
there.
are, right? For us, we've got expired setup to go in there. We've got Zillow leads going in there. We've got properties online leads going in there. So yeah, all those would count as the 5 new contacts every day.
And it could
That's
be.
the haven't mets that we're talking about building up, right?
I say we all have systems, right? Like I've learned what works for me. He's learned what's worked for him. What I do might not work for you, and what he does may not work for you, but maybe
Right.
a combination of the two, or someone else, maybe what Tess does, or Mike, someone else, right?
That's
So
right.
that's the thought process. Take it all, and that's what I've done. I've just taken people's sheets and made it how I would want to use it, right? Because why isn't there a phone number on this? I can't call. How am I supposed to call that person? Right? I got to go search through, right? If I'm doing it quick or whatnot. Like there's little things like that changed for me how I work, right? So you can adjust it however you want. But there's formulas and stuff in there that break it down for tracking your business.
And this is really good for those of us who aren't super techie and just like to rate stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this formula is I need new contacts.
Yes.
I need follow-ups. Through social media, I need evidence of successes that are going out into the marketing place. Because if you're doing it right, you're going to go in and friend all these new contacts that are coming in. They're now going to become part of your network on Facebook or on LinkedIn. Now your evidence of success solidifies that you are, in fact, a market expert. You're sending them a thank you card, which nobody sent. When's the last time any of you guys got a thank you card outside of a title and escrow officer?
Or
Going back to what we were talking about before, when's the last time you got a call from a lender, financial planner, CPA going, hey, Andre, you want to meet, man? I know your numbers, you're looking pretty solid. Let's get together. No, it's because right now, not only have we COVIDed this, I'll just term that. And a lot of people are just sticking their head in the sands, but they're not focused on building outbound relationships. We are inertly right now, because of technology, pushing away from relationships. And it's time for you guys to go back and fight and say, you know what, this is the only way we're going to make it. 86% business comes from referral. So the more relationships you go out, networking events that you get involved with, or creating your own networking group, the more sustainable you will always be in your real estate career. Those agents who went through the downturn in 2008 and 9, they had 2 things. They either had corporate accounts and relationships, or they did such a great job at taking care of their clients before they were able to advise them through short sales, through avoidance of foreclosures, and working with investor relationships to give them opportunities. Everybody else died. So I don't care if it's a great market now. I don't care if it's a shitty market like it's been, and maybe it will be in some time in the future. The relationships are the one thing that will always set you free. Many people are building their foundation of their real estate relationships on systems that other people have created. iBuyer, Zillow. What the hell happens if you're focused on Zillow, you're closing 100 deals a year and Zillow goes down? You're dead. So relationships is always going to be where it's about. It's what we're focused on today. It's what I'm focused on in 2021. We're going to get away from being dependent on other people's ability to prospect for me.
So something
Right.
we do too to maintain the relationships, not just with the like title and escrow and lenders, but we think, I'm gonna say, like working with you when this was, you were such a starter in the transaction, you underline star, and then you give them a $5 Starbucks gift card and say, have a Starbucks on me, right? And the next year it'll be, hey, working with you was a breeze, and you get a Jamba Juice gift card. So you think something cute, but it's like $5, and it goes a long way because now you have that relationship. No one else is probably sending them a thank you on the other side of a transaction. Next time I go to submit an offer, what happens? They remember that I gave them something and that was nice to work with. Now, I don't send it to everybody. I send it to people that I enjoyed working with, obviously, right? Because if they weren't a star, they don't get a Starbucks, right? But the whole thought process there is, who do I want to, build a relationship with, or the lender that was on the other side of the deal that did a great job with communication. Those are the people. That's how you get in, because those personal touches make a huge difference.
That's right. We're going to talk a lot about that this afternoon in ways to bring customer service back to your clients. Right now, we're going to talk about the wheel of life. Today, you're going to do some things that might be a little uncomfortable and outside of the box for a normal real estate business planning clinic. But here's the deal. Out of those 4 models that we talked about earlier, economic, lead gen, organizational, and budget, you know the model that's missing and is the most imperative in your success? It's your independent growth. If you're not prepared to grow personally, it's really tough to grow your business. That's leadership skills, that's communication techniques, persuasion, all of the above, in coordination with the actions. So today we're going to talk about the wheel of life. We're also going to talk about your love language later this afternoon. And you're going to find out, how many of you guys know what your love language is? Sweet, not enough. We all need it. Then we're going to text our significant other.
Yeah. How many of you know your significant
My
others?
love language is not girl. All right.
That's about that.
I know. That's why I said it. Okay, so we're going to take this page out. It's called the Where Are You Now? What is your biggest struggle in each area? Take some time to write these out. So what is your biggest struggle right now in work? Money, love life, family, spirituality, friends, and self. So we're going to take 5 minutes, fill this out. This is the personal side of growth, right? We can't grow a huge organization or blow out our business until we're working on ourselves, especially in this industry, because we're so reliant upon us to make the right decisions, to follow the systems every day, and to go and secure business. You are the CEO of your company.
And this is the cool thing. We're doing this assessment because we want to be intentional later, like schedule calendar out our year, right?
Yep.
Because it's not, obviously, most people out here are probably not going to be a perfect 7 around or a 6. It's probably going to be like a bumpy little, it's not going to be like a good, nice, well-oiled wheel, right? It's going to, if I was driving that car, that probably wouldn't be very good, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to track this into when we start calendaring out your year. If it's family and I need to go on some vacations with my family, well, that's going to be a priority on my calendar, right? And so that's the thing. It's the whole point is the purpose of business is to fund your perfect life, correct? And so what does that look like for you, and where are you missing out, and how can you adjust that? That's going to be what we're going to take you through today.
So then the next page, after you filled out the wheel, is right at the top, 2021. Where will you be? Take those same topics that you had filled out before, and now, what are you going to do to change those? Or what are some tactics that you can implement to increase your numbers? So
And then
that
how
when
I
we come
usually
back-
do this one is I rank them from 1 to 7, 1 being the most important, 7 being the least important to me for next year. So not a scale of 1 to 7, like rank which one you want to be intentional about for what's most important to you for next year.
All right, let's go personal breakdown of money. Nobody likes to talk money, but that's why we're all here. So go ahead and fill out section 1, savings, 401ks. You can do for your family. And then this is a qualifiable question, not quantifiable. How much money do you think you need to accumulate or save to retire in both cash net worth and total net worth? And then you've got to put in there, most of you, we'll talk a little bit about our survival number, which your survival number is how much you got to make every month just to break even, just to survive. So how much you need to retire should have your current, what's the word I just used? It starts with the S. Survival. Should have your current survival number, and you should probably bump that up by 50%. This will tell you, but that'll give you a ballpark number of what you need to have as far as retirement income is coming in. On average, for every million you have invested, you'll get between 4 to 7% return on $1 million in your investment account. So if I've got $1 million saved, that's going to equate to about $40,000 a year, right? So if you need 120 to survive at $10,000 a month survival number, you're going to have $3 million in the bank. We're going to show you a little bit of a way to fast track that with revenue share. But
Is that our lunch break?
Is that our lunch break? Investors, could be you.
Here, next page. So it has, if you're saving these numbers, you know what it's going to look like per year. And then if you've got it invested, what it looks like at a growth rate of 7%, which doubles every 10 years compounding. Okay, those are just some litmus numbers there for you. So turn to the next page. How much money do I need to retire? So here's where we're actually going to pencil this out for you. You're going to know what your retirement number needs to be to get you to a point where now you can break down the numbers every year so you know how much you have to save, and to do that, how much you alternately have to make. So write in your current survival number there. What are all your bills, financial obligations equate to at the top? Current survival number.
Does golf habits count as an expense?
Whatever's on your budget.
So the current survival number is how much our bills total?
Yeah, what's your monthly nut basically?
Car, utilities, house payment, kids,
Groceries,
dry cleaning, groceries,
everything. What are your expenses that
gas,
go out?
all those things. What are those ballpark? What's the ball? If you don't know, what's the ballpark number? Write that in there.
You're gonna text Adam?
I know, I just sent him a picture, I'm all, this is a problem.
He's like, I know.
He's like, don't wanna talk about it.
The first step is
That's
acknowledging,
why it's
right?
probably so hard to
He's
be
like,
married
he
to a
doesn't-
financial
yeah.
advisor. He's probably like,
yeah.
I got it.
He's like,
Okay,
we
we're
don't
just
need to
recording.
know.
He'll just watch the video.
Hi, Adam.
That's not a good thing.
It's like the plumber with the leaky toilet.
I know, right? I'm like, I think I should know.
Just
but
kidding.
I don't.
Okay, so then you're going to take that survival number and you're going to multiply it by 50%.
Or 0.5 for all you math geniuses out there.
And it says here, obviously, depending upon your lifestyle and needs, it could be anywhere from 50 to 200%. So just go with what you feel. I'm utilizing a 50% number here.
So we can adjust that if we want to do
Yeah,
a percentage.
yeah.
All right.
The goal, the ultimate goal here is for you guys to walk away after this exercise going, man, I need to save X amount of money to get me to where I need to be. And I have 20 years to do it, or I'm 42, I want to retire when I'm 62, so I need to save $6 million in 20 years. What that number needs to look like on top of the survivability number, on top of the number that we use to run our business on a P&L. That's the goal. Because here's the deal, guys. Most of you have been in business for a long period of time. How many of you have seen realtors retire?
That's all.
You? Retire into the big pine box.
Making a comeback?
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of realtors. I've seen one retire. And you know why? It's because most of the time, this is my own personal opinion, but when you look at the model of the franchise, you're really an employee relationship there. Brent said it the other day when we were at the Tahoe Mastermind. He goes, agents that are working at franchise brokerages are like being milked like a cow year in and year out, year in and year out. You're not taught to go out and be a dependent model to prospect for yourself. We're given this stuff. So we're trying to get you to run your own business and understand what those numbers look like so that ultimately you can put pen to paper and go, dude, I can't let off the pedal.
Stop being a salesperson, become a business owner, right? And so
Yeah.
what do those things look like? That's why certain companies only are going to teach you how to buy and sell real estate.
Right.
Right?
That's right. And you can't let off the pedal because when you understand, like, dude, I got retirement. I got my business expenses. I got my own I got my personal expenses.
Plus, I
And
hate to
yours.
break it to you, they're going to go up, right?
Yeah.
It's going to go up.
Right. So, what happens, guys, is a lot of agents, they hit that $10 million mark, $250,000, which is like the key to being a professional. Typically, if you look at other professional services industries, that's probably the minimum, right? But they hit that number and then they glide. They just go, oh, cool, man, things are pretty comfortable right now. We're trying to get you to the point where you have these numbers ingrained in your head every day so you go, I can't let off the pedal. I got to keep going. Got to keep going. Got to keep pushing. Okay? All right, so next, divide your total of line 1. You guys know which page we're on here?
Yeah.
We're on
17 still.
Divide your total of line 1 by $4,100. Why do we divide it by $4,100? That's that 4% per million that I was sharing with you earlier. Okay? That will tell you how many million you need in the bank. So if your survival number is 15,000, you're going to need about $3 million in the bank. Make sense?
I'm a little bit lost.
Okay, so you had your survival number. Let's pretend your survival number is 10,000. You add 50% to that. That's 15,000. That's appreciating, right? So now you take 4,100. You divide it into 15,000. What is that answer?
3.658.
3.658 million.
You add 50% to it, or?
You're taking
Yeah.
50% of
And
that
adding
main
it together
number
to give you the
and
total
you add
number.
it back in.
Right? And then you divide that number by the 4,100.
Yeah,
So you're saying at retirement a 50% higher number than the cost is today? Or the opposite?
No. So you're adding that extra 50%. So if it's 10,000 is your number, right? Then 50% that's 5, right? So then
Yeah.
you add those two numbers together to get the 15.
I see what you're saying. You're assuming
You're
cost of
assuming
living
cost
is
of
going to
living
go
go
up by the time you retire.
Okay.
Okay,
So you're
and
also
your
assuming
expenses
you're gonna
probably will
have
go
all
up.
the same
And
debt
taxes
you have
may go
now.
up, right? So if I took that number and I added the current survival number plus the 50%, that's going to give me my total life needs number. My total life needs number divided by 4,100 is 3.6 million.
Yeah, 3.658.
Gotcha.
Okay?
I assume those people want to pay stuff off before they retire, but you're saying we're going to incur more debt before.
Well, just
Well,
cost of
this is
living in
just-
general is going to go up.
This is just saying like how much you need.
How
to
far are you
get
away from, right today, how far are you away, right?
Yeah.
That
Well,
number
you're
can
going to
change.
add your cash net worth into this
Yeah,
number now.
it's,
So number 3, how much cash net worth do I have now?
Which
you
was from 2
figured it
pages
out
ago.
before.
or 1 page ago.
Now you're going to take 2 minus 3.
And the answer for me equals a lot.
And how much do I want to work? Or how many more years do I want to work? Some of you may not want to retire. I don't want to retire. What the hell am I going to do in retirement? It's like,
Play more golf.
every day.
yeah, that's not fun.
Mike, you already do that. Mike, you already do that.
Conversation I've had with Adam about this is.
Probably why my net worth is a little bit lower.
Oh, boy.
He really even said that. He goes, nah, I'll never retire.
Yeah. Well, you just find a different path of doing something else. Okay, then you find out how many years you want to work. Like for me, it's 20. So I'm going to go to my number 3.
I think it'd be interesting just to do all of them, right?
Yeah, you could.
Because you know, like how, like, it might change the way you're looking at it. Either it's gonna take you a little longer, or it's gonna take you a little less time.
What you want to walk away with this is going, dude, I need $3 million in the bank within the next 20 years. I need 4 million or 6 million, however many it is. We're all going to be millionaires. So number 6 assumes that the current cash net worth that you have is going to appreciate at some rate. So if I go 20 years, I'm going to take my current net worth and times it by 3.5 because that's going to be the compounding number. Does that make sense? If you have $500,000 saved up right now and it's in some kind of a stock or mutual fund, over the next 20 years it's going to appreciate 3.85 times. So put that number in there. Now, number 7, you're going to subtract line 2 from line 6. Now take that number, times it by 70%. Then you're going to take your months. So for me it's 20. That's 240 months. After you fill out 9, that's going to tell you how much per month you've got to save. By now, if you've done number 9, you know how much you have to put towards retirement every month. And then you can, there's some other calculations in there, 11 and 12. You
Everyone
might
doing
buy
it already?
some
Anyone
real
need help?
estate, but at number 9, you should know what your savings number needs to be every month to get to your financial goals. Does everybody have theirs?
Why is yours
I
blank?
was a little confused because
This page is filled out, I
Oh,
just
okay,
haven't
good.
done the math
Oh,
yet.
okay, okay.
I don't have any debt besides our
I have
mortgage.
nothing,
but we
I
I
have
like how I
money.
said that, and you looked right at me because you knew I was talking to.
I know, I'm like,
So we have $159,000 in equity in our house, but other than that, like, you don't really.
That 40
Okay.
I tell you, you're right, and I'm over here with
Here,
zeros.
I'm just gonna blow your mind with revenue share real quick while we're talking about this. For those guests, just bear with me for 120 seconds, okay? You guys who know me, I'm very transparent, okay? This is my revenue share check that will be deposited on Friday.
woo-hoo, and a
Okay.
kid.
How many years have I been at EXP? This is what will be deposited.
2 years?
This is what will be deposited in December for next month, which
So it's just-
closing haven't even wrapped up, right?
Right.
Okay, so at a 4% rate of return, I've been here for 2 years. I'm getting passively the same amount that it would have taken me 2 years to save $2.5 million at a 4% return. That's the power, the compounding power of revenue share. Building your own franchise and model for passive income. I work, I'll be honest with you, less than, Chrissy, what percentage of the time do I work on organizational and recruiting? Be honest.
It's because you found your unicorn.
I said less than 10%.
Easy.
I said less than 10%. This is at a 10% effort. So for those of you who think that I'm going out there and pounding the pavement, making recruiting calls all day and agent attraction calls, I'm not. Okay? I'm just not.
I do have a Derek though.
Well, I mean, you succeed through. Yes, of course. I love it. And I have a test. And I have a test too. But anyway, if you want to compound that, if you want to compound your ability to save and have the return, man, this is an opportunity for you. If you understood how big of an opportunity that RevShare is for you at EXP right now in this period of time, it's like Google, it's like Microsoft. It's going to blow up. It's going to explode. You'll be revenue sharing off of escrow officers, you'll be revenue sharing off of lenders, and that's the opportunity outside of just agents. So if you've been behind the wheel in saving for retirement, and you need to pump a couple $1 million in, this is a really easy way to do it. You'll see, 22 years, 29 people, let's just call it 30 people, divided by 24 months, that's basically 1.5 persons, maybe a month. That's not much effort at all.
Is that your front line?
That's my front line, right? So it's out there. If I said, dudes, go out and recruit people, go out and bring over 1 person a month. In 2 years, you got 24. It's going to be, your rev share will be pretty damn close to that. Okay? So that's how I'm wrapping this up in regards to how much retirement you need. Okay, we're going to take a break.